We've talked about Secret of Mana, specifically the Secret of Mana collection that came out on the Nintendo Switch a while ago in Japan. Specifically in Japan, not anywhere else, right? Nowhere else in the world. And it's left a lot of us really wanting that Secret of Mana fix outside of Japan, specifically Secret of Mana 2 or Seiken Densetsu 3. And that's something we've been waiting for that Square really has not done yet. But we did get an announcement for anyone who is a fan of the Secret of Mana series that will make you pretty happy. So here's the deal. They're going to be remaking Secret of Mana, or of course Seiken Densetsu 2 Secret of Mana, which is what they're going to be titling it in Japan. And it's going to be coming out on the PS4, the Vita, strangely, and Steam or PC. So you have a couple different options on this. If you want a portable version, you can get it on the Vita, which is a system that barely exists over here in the United States and other parts of the world, but in Japan it's still kind of going strong, surprisingly, with about 5,000 units per week selling. That's pretty good. And of course, you can get it on the PS4 or on the PC. Now, it's a little odd. I think a lot of people are pointing this out. That's weird that it's not going to the Nintendo Switch, a place where it would do pretty well, I think. I wish they would take a chance with Secret of Mana either way, either this remake or the collection. But of course, if you know how exclusives work, more than likely Sony paid some money in to keep it on their system. I think that's almost obvious at this point. And if you don't know how exclusives works, it's pretty straightforward. These companies will take a look at what they think they would sell on other platforms, and they'll go to the platform holder who wants that game on their system, and they will present to them an estimate, and they negotiate a price that gets paid out to that publisher. So in this case, Square has the Xbox One to look at, which, let's just be realistic here, it's not going to sell much on the Xbox One, specifically in Japan. That's blatantly obvious with like 80,000 Xbox Ones out there, and even in the United States, it probably just does not cater to that audience. And then they have the Switch, which they can look at and they can say, look, it's doing well in Japan, but there's still not enough units out there for it to be any real big threat to the PS4. This is the place to be, and really, at that point, Square is probably going to present them with a figure that's not that much. Sony had no problem paying it, is what it looks like. So it's either a timed exclusive, which would be cheaper, or it's just an outright exclusive for the PlayStation platform. And then, of course, none of these platforms care if a lot of the stuff goes to PC from third-party developers, so it's also on the PC. It's going to be releasing February 15th, 2018, and they already have pre-order bonuses set up. So if you pre-order ahead of time, there's a couple of different things. Now they have it set up on the PlayStation Store, so if you pre-order there, you'll get different costumes like the Moogle suit, for example, a Tiger two-piece or Tiger suit. So it seems to be more just costumes in general without any real difference going into the story. So I wouldn't really expect you to get any massive advantages out of pre-ordering, but they're just costumes you can get for your characters. Now you can also get the same costumes on Steam, whereas if you buy it the day one edition, which they're going to label basically if you purchase it within a week of it coming out, or if you pre-purchase on Steam, you'll get the same stuff. So overall, it's just pre-order bonuses they're putting out there that seem to be more cosmetic. Now I like that Secret of Mana is getting a remake. I think it's awesome. It's great to see this game kind of get rebuilt in this. It's gonna be a lower polygon count setting. It's not going to be some massively done setting for the PS4 or anything. This is also going to be on the Vita. Now seems lower budget, for example, but that's not a big deal because originally we were dealing with 16-bit visuals on the Super Nintendo, so this is a massive step up if you compare the two from 1993 to now. Massive difference. But myself, and I think several others, would love to see Secret of Mana 2 make its way out of Japan, or Seiken Densetsu 3, as a lot of people know it, make its way out of Japan because we've been teased already, right, with that collection that it's just sitting over there on the Switch. You can get it, and since the Switch is region-free, you can play it. It's only in Japanese. I wish they had at least offered an English option, because then none of us would be upset or annoyed. We would have just bought it and just popped in our region-free Switches and we've been off. But in this case, we're still waiting for it. So I hope what's happening here is Square sees that people are interested in the Secret of Mana series, and that this might be the stepping stone to either getting that collection localized. Maybe they're working on it now. If you're not Square, you should be, because that game should be coming outside of Japan. Or maybe this is a stepping stone to eventually completely remaking Secret of Mana 2. I would love to see that get completely remade, in these visuals fine, but maybe they take it a step further if this sells well and they really go for it. I mean, like a serious remake, like visuals on par with something like a PS4 or a PC's like top-end stuff. Really though, I would like to see it also come to the Switch. I understand why they wouldn't bring it to the Xbox because, well, there's not a big Japanese following there for these kind of games, but the Switch is building that following, and probably by the time it's ready to launch, let's say they do this, like a Secret of Mana 2 remake, it would probably not be for, if this isn't coming out 2018, that wouldn't be till 2019. I think by then we'll see quite a few Switches in Japan. I don't want to throw an estimated number out there, but it'll be quite a few based on demand. So I would hope that this is more a test to see how it does. They realize it's going to do well, because this will do well, absolutely. And then they start to look into the future for something like Secret of Mana 2 on the PS4, sure, the Vita if they want, the Switch, obviously, and the PC. But let me know what you think of this new remake for Secret of Mana. Are you excited? Are you a little frustrated it's not on the Switch? Or are you more like, well, I have everything. Like, I mean, I have all the systems, so it won't matter as much to me, although the versatility of the Switch is really starting to show up in some of these games. Like I said, something like Rocket League and Skyrim, I look at those and I go, that would be great to take on the go. And now that I'm playing some other games on the Switch for different reviews and stuff, I am starting to realize that, yeah, it's a lot easier to play on the Switch than other systems. So I would like to see it on the Switch, if anything, for the convenience factor. That's it for now. See you guys next time.